Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Adrielle, and I am currently narrating a story of my life dating back from January 2016. In the previous episode, I talked about the month of June 2019, and in this episode, I am talking about the month of July 2019. So, here it goes. July 2019. Oh, goodness, y'all. I was just. I'm like, man, why do I gotta be in the wilderness season? Like, I've already gone through it before. Why do it again? I understand the whole marriage process, but Lord, I'm trying to get some bread. I'm trying to get some bread. I'm trying to work. I want to make money. I need to pay my bills. I'm just dreading the fact that, man, what if this wilderness season is super long? I'm just thinking about that in my head. Also, at this time, the acid reflux situation was just horrendous. It got to the point where I was constantly in the bathroom, like just constantly in the bathroom, constantly belching. There were times where I would take a gulp of water and I would feel full. Like I would quickly get full, and I hated that. I hated that was happening. So there's something up with my digestive system. Don't know what it is. Don't have insurance. I was just like, man, what can I do to alleviate this acid reflux situation? There's nothing I could do. So that was really, really, really bothering me at that point. Ending of June, beginning of July, I had to change my car registration to that of Georgia's registration. So when I brought my car, I had everything New Jersey, my license, my inspection, everything was from New Jersey. But by June 30th, all of that expired, so I had to change it to Georgia, and it was a process. They were giving me the runaround. But eventually, by the first week of July, I was able to get that done. Now, something I thought was very interesting was when I got my license plate, Georgia license plate, I looked at the number. The number of my license plate was very similar to my apartment number at Brownstone. So if you know my apartment number at Brownstone, it was 1512A. Okay. So my license plate number, I'm not going to say exactly what it is. My license plate number was very close to that number. So it was 15-1 and something. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is very similar to my apartment number at Brownstone. Now, I think it's important to remember that because it comes back later on in the story. So, yeah, so when I was looking at the license plate number, I was like, man, this is very similar to my Brownstone apartment number. As July is going, there are things happening to me. I am fighting. Now, what? Not physically fighting somebody, but I got into it with Ruby. There was a situation and I got into it with her. It was that situation that I got into it with her that I realized that something was wrong with me. Now, I said back in 2018 when I got into Melissa that something was wrong with me. This situation, I was like, nah, there's something wrong. And not only is there something wrong, just the entire 2019, I was just feeling this shift inside of me or something that's going on inside of me. I'm in the wilderness season now. It was just a lot going on, dabbling into legalism as well. There was a lot going on internally. And I'm like, man, there is something wrong with me. So I took it upon myself to reach out to Crystal. And the reason why I did that was because I felt like all my friendships or relationships with people were being affected by my situation with Crystal. I never let that situation go. Y'all, as much as I cut her off and I knew cutting her off was the best thing to do, I did not want her in my life anymore because I believed she was toxic. I believed it was the best thing to do, but I never released the pain of that situation. So I call her twice. She doesn't pick up, actually goes to voicemail. So I said, okay, I'm gonna let it go. But I remember this is something's wrong with me. There's something wrong. July 28th. July 28th, I go to the airport to pick up Ruth. Yeah, she had traveled, came back to Atlanta. I picked her up from the airport, pick her up, drop her at home, come back home. I get on Instagram and I don't know. This was just something weird, but there was a woman who followed me probably a couple of days before that, but she had a post up on her Instagram and it said, "Stick around for the miracle." That was her post. Stick around for the miracle. Now, at this point in July, I am like so crazy about this whole job thing. So I'm so crazy. I'm like really obsessed about this whole I need a job because y'all, I was broke. I was becoming so obsessed about needing a job. And I wanted to travel to visit my brother for my birthday weekend. And so when I saw stick around for the miracle, that was kind of like my way of thinking to myself, like, okay, is God trying to tell me I should stick around in Atlanta for the miracle and not travel to see my brother? You know? And actually, what ended up happening was my brother wasn't even going to be around, so I couldn't even travel to see him. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick around, but I don't know what this miracle is. If the miracle is a job, Lord, I want it. So I'm like, okay, I feel like this is for me. So I stick around. I stick around, and here comes July 30th. July 30th, I get an email from a recruiter for a job position. Get the email. He calls me. He says, it's a job in Midtown. It's a temp. That it wasn't a temp position. It was an entry level position, which was something I was looking for at the time. Entry level position. It's a analyst role. It's in Midtown. Are you interested? I say yes. I'm interested. So I had my appointment scheduled the next day, which was July 31st. So I go to Midtown, go for the interview. As I'm sitting in the interview, they're asking me questions about a bunch of softwares that I did not use when I was in grad school. And as they're talking and I'm answering the questions, I remember thinking to myself, I don't want the job. Like I need a job that is a rotational program type of position. If you don't know what a rotational program position is basically when a company hires a group of people, typically people who are coming out of college or out of grad school, they hire them and train them for X amount of months or X amount of years for a position in their company. So I remember just thinking to myself in the interview, that is what I need. I don't need an entry level position. I don't need this. And I honestly was not interested in what they were saying. Now, it was something interesting that they told me. They said, if you get hired, you would work at their Smyrna location. Do you mind taking a drive to Smyrna? Now, at this point, I'm driving all over Georgia. I don't care. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind, transporting from North Decatur to Smyrna. So, anyways, we end the interview. And I remember leaving there and going to the lobby and just thinking to myself, I need a rotational program type of position. That's what I need. I need a rotational program position. That's what I need. So I get home. And I'm thinking to myself, let me apply to rotational program positions that are available in Atlanta. So I go to Glassdoor. I put in rotational program positions. And the first company I see, we're going to call this company London. Okay, that's going to be the name of the company. Company was London. Once I saw the position, I remember feeling in my spirit that God was taking me to that company. I just immediately felt that God was taking me to this company. He is going to station me at this company. So I applied to the position. Now I apply and I just tell myself that even if I don't get this particular position, God is taking me to London. He's taking me to London. I feel it in my spirit. He's taking me to London. So I applied for the position and that was that. So that was what happened in the month of July 2019. A little recap of July and everything else. I am in the wilderness season. I'm trying to get out to get a job. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get a job. As far as my health was going, I was really having issues with my digestive system. I was just constantly in the bathroom. in and out of the bathroom. It just was not it. As far as Brandon goes, I did not check him. I did not want to check him. I deactivated my burner page. I just wanted to live my life as a single woman, and focus on myself. And the wilderness was going. And yeah, and I also said that something was wrong with me. Now, that is what I am going to address in the month of August. Something was wrong with me, didn't know what it was, but we're going to talk about it in the month of August. So, if you like this episode, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share my videos, and until next time,